for her father, she was a loving daughter to her mother. She was an excellent sibling. She was a helping hand for her schoolmates from the very beginning. She was a ray of hope. She was just like a beacon of light. As a student, as a youth, he was the companion of her father. Wherever her father used to go, he used to take her with him. When she started the educational or the student life, it was full of remorse and awards, and she proved nothing but an excellent student in the different of the institution where she went. When the turning points came in her life, she really responded equal to the occasion and equal to the task. The lady is known for her wisdom, the lady is known for the decisions, the lady is known for the beauty and luster. The lady who remained not so much time with the people, she remained exiled most of her life. When she came back, she was received with laughter, cries and smiles together. I'm talking about nothing but Benazir Bhutto, who came into this world in a very noble and royal family of Bhutto in 1953 and laid down her life, means performing the tradition of her family. Her father gave away the life, her two brothers also had given their lives, and she had also presented the life as a gift to this nation. Now, definitely I would like to talk about the early setback that she received. And I would like to tell my audience a quotation regarding the leader, because my presentation is absolutely on Benazir Bhutto as a leader, not as a person. Now, a leader has been defined as a man who can persuade others to do anything without the reward or without the punishment. Means the leaders are the people who bring the people into the action without causing them into the fear or without giving them the temptation of the reward. So this exactly has been done by the various of the leaders in the world. We have the example of Winston Churchill, who saved England from the misery of the Second World War. We have the name of George Kennedy, who was also treacherously killed, but he was the person who stopped the Vietnam War for America, and he was the person who was loving, and he was the person who was very dear and near to the people. There are many such leaders of the world. From where I should start and from where should I not? We have the example of Nelson Mandela. We have the example of Indira Gandhi. We have the example of Jawaharlal Nehru. We have the example of Mahatma Gandhi. We have the example of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. But this list does not end here. We cannot exclude the lady with the lamp, Benazir Bhutto. So her life is absolutely full of tragedy. Her life is absolutely full of lots of campaigns. She did not see much of the happiness. Even, she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth. Now, I would like to start her early setback when her father was hanged. It's absolutely a painful moment for a daughter and for the sons and for the whole family when their father, who happened to be the prime minister of any country, who was hanged for nothing, who was hanged for the charge of nothing, who was hanged just for the charge of treachery, just for the charge of unknown and ambiguous and mysterious kinds of settings that were hedged against him. There were some political murders that happened in his time. So it was definitely a first setback, a first shock, a first blow on her part that she received. She was definitely left miserable. She was left on the fate. She was left in the hands of her mother. But she collected herself. She gathered herself, and she put all the sweat and blood that she had fought for her country, and she started to emerge as a leader for Pakistan. So the painful, starting and the chain of the thing started when the Zia's regime exiled her and her family. She remained many years out of the family, but she kept trying, using her, wit, using her wisdoms, and using her vocal, expressions to the international media. And definitely she came back in Pakistan in 1986 in Lahore near Mochi Gate, where the people had given tremendous applause, tremendous feedback and tremendous welcome to their sought after leader. I have used the word of sought after because after Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, she was only the ray of hope for the people. When she came after the 2 years, when the incident of Zia crash happened, so after the election she was become the first Prime Minister. She was not only the first Prime Minister of Pakistan as a lady, but she was the first Prime Minister, means she was the first youngest Prime Minister in the world. She was very blooming and charming when she just, had a oath for the Prime Ministership. But what happened just after the 18 months of her, short-living government, she was, giving the charges and the allegations of corruption. But the main cause of a removal of that government means, why did the government of Benazir Bhutto of 1998 as a Prime Minister got ended to an early end? Because it was a budget problem. In those days, Pakistan had army chief of Mr. Aslam Mirza. He was the army chief of Pakistan. And she just negotiated with that person and said very plainly that now the India and Pakistan are no more on the unfriendly or the hostile terms they always had been, and because now there is a new wave of friendship have emerged, now it is for both of our countries to settle the things down, because there is no more violence and no more the conditions of concern to the peace. Now let's reduce the budget of the army. In those days, the budget of army was used to be 75% of overall budget of Pakistan. Nowadays, it has emerged to 85%. It's absolutely a shocking and startling point. The country, who has been flooded with various of the problems. The country who has been surrounded by many of the problems. The country who has been surrounded by many of the problems, not only of the poverty, not only of the terrorism, not only of the unemployment, but there are various of the problems that we are, very much way ahead from the world. Now, and the country is just expending 85% of its budget on the army and the defense. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous for a country who is known to be a third world country. What she did, she just minimized the 5%. Ordinary 5% is not enough amount. And she said that I'm just going to reduce the 5% amount of the budget for the army. And after just 2 months, she was removed from the scene. Ghulam Musa Khan played the part, and he broke the assembly, and she was just absolutely armless and defenseless. In the second, time in 1993, in the general election of 1993, when she became the Prime Minister of Pakistan, it was looking that now she looks very mature, she looks very powerful, she looks very, in a strong condition. She looks in a very strong condition, but nobody knew. Anything can happen in the country like Pakistan. What happened? Her husband, Asif Ali Zardari, he was having lots of charges in the corruption and many other things that happened, but they could not, stop herself from being the Prime Minister. But it was absolutely a deadly incident that took place. It was the murder of her brother. Mamtaz Bhutto was killed, on the road just before, in front of his house. And he was just killed with his 6 companions on 20th September 1996. Now, where the sister is the Prime Minister and the brother is killed on the road, and he was killed not by the terrorists, not by the hooligans, not by the other people, but by the policemen. Now, who had given the orders to the policemen? Being the Prime Minister of a sister. It was definitely many fingers of doubts that were raised against her. And Farooq Lagari, who has just died after 2-3 months ago, he just played the part and he just removed and abrupted the assemblies and constitutional assemblies. Now then, there were many such setbacks that she received. Then she had to go exile for many years, means living away from the country, living separated from the husband. Absolutely would like to talk about the husband. After the murder of her brother, means it was very evident that the brother and sister, they were having some misunderstanding. People said that they were having some misunderstanding over the power, over the division of the power. But it was not the case. They were having the agreement, they were having the compromise, but it was not known to the people, because she was well aware that agencies in Pakistan which are working very actively, they are the enemies, they are the hostile, and they are relationships. So definitely they kept this thing in the dark, and they did not let the people know that what is happening in between the brothers and sisters. That means I just say you clearly that they had an agreement, they had a compromise that was behind the curtain. And after the murder of Zulfikar Bhutto, she was not having in the best of the terms of with her husband. And then she went to exile, and her husband after his brother was put into the jail for 8.5 years. Now, when she came back, after much of the negotiation, after much of the maturity that she received, what she was doing in the abroad, she was lecturing to different other universities like Oxford and many other universities, and she was paid a very handsome amount. And once the regime of the Musharraf said in the Swiss account case that we are going to seize all the property of Benazir Bhutto, then she said, suppose if you are going to seize the property of my that is earned absolutely as a true golden gear, suppose you are going to seize it, then definitely I can survive well only on the support of my lectures. Now you see, the universities like Oxford, the universities of Harvard, they used to pay her very handsome amount. Why? Because she was not only the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, but she was absolutely witty, she was absolutely clever, she was absolutely a knowledgeable person as far as the international politics was concerned. She was having absolutely a good grip over the issues that are happening in the world. She had a history, she had a history of tragedy, she had a history of misery. She herself was a victim of the misery and tragedy. So that's why she was well aware how to negotiate with such kind of things and situations. And after being that much knowledgeable, after being that much mature, when she came to Pakistan, she just raised the hands of prayer to God, because she was knowing that all around, suppose she goes, definitely there are some networks, absolutely, which are against her. Means there are many such plots, that were hatched against her. She was well aware, she was well known. It was all cleared upon when the October 18, 2007, the car incident took place. On the 19th of October, she just, on the YouTube, that press conference is present. I have just seen it. She says all such things. That in which way she has been beaten, in which way she has been persuaded by the Musharraf and other cabinet of the Camp League, in which way she has been persuaded to come in Pakistan. Means she was just invited to come Pakistan so that the people can victimize her. But she did not go back. She just when saw the overwhelming feedback of the people, she just thought that I'm absolutely belonging to these people and I'm not going to leave them. In each and every procession that she attended, in each and every jalsa, she said these very words, that I have the security threats, I have the security risk. But the so-called security provided by the government, it was not enough. And definitely, she was a victim of that terrorism. On the eve of 27 December 2007, when we see in the videos, the shooter, shoots with a pistol to her. Many people, they say, now this thing is no more. Even, nowadays, the government of the PPP is going on, but there are no such sincere efforts that are being done in order to make settle the dust, in order to clear the things for the people. The things are just told in a very ambiguous, in a very mysterious, in a very secretive way. So that the common people should not understand. But the common people of Pakistan is very wise. After the tragedies, after the happenings, or after the so many seeing the unsuitable condition of the people of Pakistan, they really understand that what's behind the curtain, what's happening. The people are very well aware that these people are hiding the records. These people are hiding the many such. Who is on the door? Acha, that's absolutely disturbed. Now I was talking about the final journey that Mohtarma made to the country, and when she was just paying her homage, the last homage, when she was killed. The moment she was killed, and after the incident of 15 minutes, her place of murder was washed with the pressure pipe. Did you see in the video that the water pump, just washed away the remnants of her proves there could be work from there. Now, only on the ERYG it was said that she was not killed. Only one, she was not killed through the pistol, through the shooting of that fire. She might have been aimed from a longer distance. Means nearby there were some buildings under construction, and from there a laser gun was fired. It was a Russian gun, that noise blade. And then she was just become the victim. So there is absolutely a knock on the door. I could not finish my presentation. So thank you very much for listening to my presentation.